Hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat. My name is Oliver and I'm joined by Alex, Lewis, and Niall. I've got your name there for a second, Niall.
Hello.
Hello.
So
Hello.
it's time for our video game book club. This month is Neon White as chosen by Alex. Alex, tell us a little bit about why you did this.
Why I did this?
Yeah.
It's a game that's like been on my radar for quite a while now. It's been like a meme in like our friend group as well, like with Niall making a similar game.
No, yeah.
Um, and it got really high scores, and I've seen a couple like videos on it, and I was like, right, I'm just gonna pick it because if I don't pick it, then I'll never play the game. So that is essentially why I picked it.
He's just gonna pick it.
And it also went on Game Pass recently, so it was a perfect excuse.
Perfect excuse. So give us your opening statement as well while you're at it, Big Al.
Okay, so I gave Neon White an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed the gameplay of it. I thought it was very smooth. The only thing that really let it down was the story. The story was so boring, and it was quite cringy as well. I think if it didn't have a story, it'd be a 10 out of 10. I think the game didn't need a story. I think it just it would have worked without one, but every game needs a story nowadays, so that's essentially why.
Happy days. Niall.
So, let me tell you something about Neon White.
Please do.
I think that there's a game for everyone in the past where they've gone, you know what, I'm going to try and do this the fastest I can. I know with Alex it's Banjo. With me it was Doritos Crash Course. That was a banger. And I think Neon White just sort of evoked that feeling again, to be honest. Like, I don't usually care about replaying levels or getting the fastest times, but yeah, with every single level apart from the boss levels, which might be a spoiler for what we'll hate later. Yeah, I just bloody loved it. Literally, apart from two things, I would have given this game like a 9.5 out of 10, but because of those two things, one's the story and the other one's the bosses, it's 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. So we got an 8,
Yeah,
we got a 7.
I just fast forward every dialogue because it was painful to watch. It was that bad.
Oh, aye. Liz?
I hadn't really thought about a rating until like just now, and considering everything, I think I would also give it a 7. I don't want to like just repeat what everyone else has said because it's basically the same thing. I think the core gameplay and I think the idea of the game is really really well done. I think what it needs, what it wants to do is done almost perfectly. Like I said, it could have. Oh, sorry, like Alex said, it could have just done without the story aspect of it. I didn't hate the story. Like there was bits and pieces of it that were kind of interesting, but it was like behind layers and layers and layers of just garbage. Um and yeah, I just wasn't overly interested in what was being said. I was purely just trying to get back to the levels as quick as I could. And a lot of the story content as well is locked behind um actually 100% in the game. Which I think is silly. I think considering the story of the game isn't anything that impressive, I think locking 90% or probably the best parts of it behind 100% in it or doing everything on all the levels was just a bit silly. So yeah, I'd give it a 7.
A 7. Okay, so Neon White. So it's truly for me. It's a game of two halves. It's you've all said it. The gameplay is fucking excellent. Like I say, it is almost perfect. You feel like if you get through a level really fast and you know you get your platinum medal or whatever, you feel like a god. It's like it just really gives you that video. It's a video game ass video game. You know what I mean? It gives you that kind of feeling. The gameplay's fluid. Sorry, just look at my notes. So all the different soul cards, they all add to the experience. Like there's no real bad soul cards or anything like that. So all the guns are really good. But then you got the other side of it. You got the anime bullshit, like painting over the Mona Lisa with a big pile of dog shit. It's the visuals, the voice acting. It's all just so fucking cringe. It's awful to watch, and the levels themselves don't look good. They genuinely look like Sonic 06. Every single level looks like it's been pulled directly out of Sonic 06.
Honestly, yeah, I see that.
So yeah, so it's split right down the middle for me. So I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Because that 5 out of 10 half is a 10 out of 10 game. You know what I mean? But everything else is a 0. because it's that because I hate it. I genuinely, I watched all the cutscenes and I listened to all the dialogue and all that kind of stuff because I'd like to keep up with the story and all that kind of stuff. But my God,
It was a struggle.
it was fucking bad. It was I've seen quite a bit of anime. I'm trying to open my mind up to anime kind of thing, but this was the definition of what is wrong with anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
I agree, but I'd argue
yeah.
that this does it in all the worst ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not all anime is bad, but
Yeah.
it's the bad anime that makes me hate anime.
I think specifically about this with the anime writing is it's inspired by the translations of anime writing.
Yes,
So it's
yeah.
so like the translations are always worse than what's actually the writing of. So it's inspired by worse versions of the writing, which is also pretty bad anyway. So that's like what I hated most about the story is I was really hyped about getting ranked 1 because I thought that would give me the good ending, but no, you had to do shit with the story and like speak to
You
people.
had to get like the gifts and stuff and do the social aspects of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was very disappointed because it was like, oh yeah, shit, you're still a bad guy or something like that. I didn't really read the
Because getting to
dialogue.
rank 1 doesn't mean anything, really.
Yeah, I'll speak about that later, but yeah, none of you guys will have gotten the proper ending.
No, I watched it. I watched the proper
Yeah.
ending.
I wouldn't
But
have cared either way.
I
promise
didn't
you.
have any drive to go back through the levels and find all those gifts because I didn't want to just go treasure hunting. Essentially, I couldn't be bothered.
I probably should have done this myself, but Alex, can you give us a summary of what the game's about and just basically what it is?
Yeah, sure. So you are Neon White, voiced by Dempsey from Zombies. We've got a trend going on here
Oh,
from Call of Duty Zombies.
I've never played it, so I can't.
No,
I can't
I'm
give
just
it
saying
that
we've got a trend going on because we've had the Zombies cast for like 3 podcasts now.
Oh shit! I need to pay more attention.
Yeah. So essentially, you're in like this like heavenly place. You've died, and then you're in like. It's been a while since I played the start of the game, but
The heavenly place is called heaven, if I remember right.
yeah, it's crazy. Well, no, you get pulled out of this water, and then you're essentially you have to like rank in like with the other neons, which are other people that have died. So you have to get your neon rank high enough to like be able to essentially get into heaven. Otherwise, you go down to hell. So there's like was it 11 days till Judgment Day?
Something like that,
Yeah. So then you're going against green, red, violet, and yellow, and then some other nameless neons that don't even matter.
Yeah, from what I understand, the angels of heaven like employed you essentially to get rid of all the demons which invade heaven periodically.
Yeah, but then it made no sense though because all the angels were like gone at the end of the game. They made that like a big deal.
Yeah, it's like they're just bad people.
Well, yeah, because the angels were bad.
Yeah.
The angels that were in heaven weren't actually proper angels. They were demons that invaded heaven and then basically took over the role and pretended they were angels. The only ones that were actually angels were the cats.
Yeah. Good almighty.
It reminds me of the Has Been Hotel TV show, if anybody's seen that.
I want to watch it, but
Sadly not. Yeah, I want to see it. But
yeah, it's sort of similar vibe.
Now, tell us a bit about the gameplay.
I'll tell you about the gameplay. So, first of all, what I will say is it's I don't know if this is the right way to phrase it, but it's deceptively confusing when you're watching it because it looks like you've got all these different cards and you have to make all these different decisions whilst like going really, really fast. That's not the case. So, to put it into perspective, I didn't know that you could change which card you had in your hand because you can have like 2 cards in your hand at once.
yes.
I didn't know you could change it to like which one is the primary one until I was forced to, I believe, in like one of the last 10 levels of the 100 levels in the game. So you don't need to do that at all. Basically, it's just you kill an enemy, which gives you a card, and that card is a movement ability, and you use that movement ability to get to the next enemy or the next area of the level. And that's the loop throughout the entire game. There are some enemies which don't give you any cards, and there are some enemies which don't give you any cards but give you a movement effect, like the balloon demon or the Shocker, I believe it's called, the one that's like the 6 flower petals.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't give you any cards, but they give you a movement boost. So that's all it is. You kill demons to get movement abilities, which you need to do to complete the level. I think it does a really good job at having a sort of golden path, so that if you just kill every enemy that's in front of you and get the card and go forward, you'll get through the level. And I was actually at the start of the game thinking, oh, this is another Sifu where you just have to kill all the enemies and there's no creativity. But the more you play it, the more you realize that having to kill all the enemies, which you have to do in order to complete every level, actually evokes creativity because you can traverse the level in a lot of different ways, especially as the game progresses. Once you get the rocket launcher is a big one for creativity, I think, but also the shotgun, which like propels you forward when you use right click. Yeah, so. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. Movement and shooting.
Yeah, it just feels good.
Yeah.
Like I say, the golden
Yeah.
path is just beautiful because
That's one thing I will. That's one thing I will say. Sorry, is that I think every time, I don't know about you, maybe because Lewis is a little nerd, but every single time I was like a second or half a second off gold. Every single time I completed the level for the first time. And so I thought the timings were perfect for that golden path. And then once you started fine tuning it, it was quite easy to get to gold. And then you'd have to maybe break like a sequence or do things, so find a different path in order to get the platinum. So I thought that was really well balanced. I assume Lewis just got platinum at first time every time.
every time.
No, as much as I would have liked for it to have been that way, it wasn't always like that. There were times where I did get the platinum straight away, and you get unique dialogue whenever you do, which is rewarding. It feels good whenever you hear it. But a lot of the time, I'd say probably like 70%, no, 60% of the time, I'd get the gold first time. Silver was on those rare occasions where the level design was maybe a bit more tricky, and I sort of had to really analyze and think about what I was doing before I'd get it done. But yeah, I'd say about 60% of the time it was gold. The platinum, I had to go out of my way pretty consistently to try and get them. Because like Niall said, a lot of it was like perfectly made for the golden path, and I think that was done really well. But it did require a lot of the time for you to, as Niall said, sequence break it or basically find a way around the regular path. And it's not overly something you're usually looking for in your first run through of it, because it's usually stuff that's very well hidden. So yeah, as much as I'd like to believe it was the best and it was incredible, I did have to put in a bit of a shift to make sure I get it. And what's worse is I found out after the game that platinum isn't even the highest medal for each
No,
level.
it is red as well,
Yeah,
isn't
there's
there?
red,
Wait, what? Really?
which I managed to get on one level, and that's when I found out that there was red medals, and I was like, oh no.
Damn.
I didn't even know about
You
Yeah,
have to be really fast.
Yeah, you have
Right,
to be
okay.
quite
Really
close
fast.
to like world record speed
Yeah.
for
that.
these
That's
levels.
mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. I didn't even like want to attempt doing any of it. Like I said, I got one by accident, and then I was like, oh okay. And that sort of like set me back down to reality a little bit, and was like, oh, I'm not that good then. But yeah, I think overall, yeah, the gameplay was just it was very good and very well managed. I don't think it was ever truly frustrating to try and get the higher scores or try and get the medal that you were going for. It always felt like user error if for some reason you weren't quite hitting it, which I think is good in a game like this, because I think a lot of the time in games like this, a detriment of it is that you can just get annoyed very quickly because the game's just sort of bullshit. And I can't overly argue that the game is bullshit. Really, it sort of just is my fault. Like I think I mentioned it to you guys when I was at it. The my least favorite part gameplay wise was chapter 10 when they introduced the rocket launcher.
Oh.
And it's not that the gameplay wasn't fun for the rocket launcher, it's just that up until that point, and I mean the entire game, one of the aspects of it is collecting gifts, and those levels designs were completely ruined, gift wise, by the fact that they would just start putting the gifts on top of these buildings, like out in the distance, because you've got the rocket launcher now, and it just made it really tedious and just terrible to try and get any of it, and it was really disappointing because up until that point, the level design was really good. And I don't know, it felt like they just missed the mark with that one level, and then it went back to being good again after that. I don't know, which was very strange. But yeah, it was good shit. It was very, very good shit.
I loved the rocket launcher stuff. I really, really, really liked it. I think that's probably my favorite weapon. What was everyone else's favorite weapon if you've got one?
My favorite weapon was easily the last one.
Oh
The-
yeah, I wouldn't
Bible,
count. I
whatever
wouldn't
it was.
count that though.
The
I'd
Holy
count it
Guard.
because it was great.
It was amazing.
It completely mixed up the gameplay for me because it made everything so quick.
Oh yeah,
What-
you were rapid.
What I wish is I wish there was like a mode that you unlocked when you completed the game where you could go back for all the levels with that
With
weapon.
that.
With that weapon, yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
would've been
really
good.
good.
I really like the shotgun.
Yeah,
Shotgun was fun,
that zip
'cause it-
forward.
it
That one.
just-
Innit?
Yeah.
I think mine was Dominion, which was the sniper, I believe. No, Godspeed, sorry, which was the sniper.
Oh,
Like
yeah, the blue one.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I really like that, just because especially the early levels, like they were just designed so you could just zip through all the enemies really, really quickly.
I thought that was the shotgun. Is the blue one not the shotgun? Which one's the
No,
shotgun?
it's the
No,
the
shotgun's
shotgun's
red.
the red one. Yeah.
Oh right, of course.
That's where you
Shotgun, so
become
you
a
shoot the
fireball.
fireball. Yeah.
Yeah. There was some times where I got confused sometimes with the sniper, where I would be looking somewhere and be like, right, I'm gonna zip forward, and then I'd just shoot straight forward rather
Yeah,
than the
okay, it's
direction I was
horizontal
facing.
only.
Yeah.
That was one thing which I kind of didn't like about the weapons. It felt like some of them were just slightly better versions of others. Like the shotgun and the sniper
yeah.
is
Well,
a
the
good
same
example.
thing. Yeah, really.
Yeah, like it was how you would expect the sniper to work originally. So yeah, I thought that was a bit weird. It's not. The sniper might have pushed you a bit further, but they both
Yeah, because
broke
I think it just
doors.
like sort of
Yeah,
propelled you, but the sniper was just like a straight line.
yeah.
I really like the LMG as well, where you could throw it down and bounce yourself. I liked because
Yeah.
that could like get you to like certain shortcuts where you could get the platinum medal.
Yeah. I thought that was a. I was just say I
Sorry,
thought
go
that was a
on.
weird one to introduce. But I believe it was either the first or the second weapon to be introduced because that was the one
It was
which
the first
made me.
weapon.
It made me hate the game initially because I was like, oh no, because I really really struggle getting the timing right, and I'm like, if this game is going to be like this, where I'm gonna have to fumble around levels for ages until I get it, then I'm not gonna have fun. But I think it's by far the hardest ability to actually use.
Yeah, it's definitely not my favorite at all because I just kept forgetting what it did. Like
You just kept throwing it down. Oh
I
yeah,
just
that's
kept
what
throwing
it
it
was.
down. It's like, and then it's well, you got to restart the level now, kind of thing. Because it wasn't in every level, was it? It was just the threw that ability down to like jump every now and again.
Yeah, it
Whereas
was
I
quite
felt
rare.
all the rest of them were a lot more consistent.
But I feel like that was like an upgrade. Like the rocket launcher was an upgrade to that
Yeah,
because you, instead of throwing it and then expecting to jump, you use the rocket launcher to just jump off walls.
yeah,
Yeah, and there was a lack of need to as well because that's the thing. At the beginning, enemies were grouped together quite a lot, so you'd want to use the weapon just to get rid of those groups of enemies very quickly.
Yeah.
But then the shotgun took over that because the shotgun could spray a bunch of enemies very quickly as well. So I noticed that there was almost no need for that weapon by the end of it.
yeah. No, I agree,
Yeah.
definitely. So I want to get onto the characters a bit, and I want to talk about. So who was everyone's least favorite character? Let's make sure we've all got the same one.
Violet.
All of them.
Violet. Fuck me. So Violet, I believe, has put women back about 100 years. Legitimately, it is awful. Like, and this is what I was talking about earlier with the bad part. When I'm talking about the bad parts of anime, I'm talking about Violet. That's exactly what I'm talking about, and how they portray women. It's great. So I've got a couple of voice lines there that she had. So they're talking about sweating, and Violet said, "You're lucky you don't have big boobs, White. They get it the worst." It's just fucking grim.
She's not wrong.
Funnily enough, I had a science teacher in high school which mentioned that 3 or 4 times. He
It's-
said you gotta watch out if you got big boobs because you'll get yeast infections because of the sweat. Like, he consistently said that.
Well, it's like Neon White coming back to her and saying, "Oh yeah, no, my bollocks are stuck to my leg." You know what I mean? It's just keep it to yourself. It's all good.
Honestly, if you came back with that, I think I would have liked that, to be honest.
And
Would've got higher rated.
another time, Violet was trying to flirt with Wyatt, and she said, "You're the kind of guy that will catch a girl's spit in his mouth." What the fuck does that mean? You're younger than me. Is this a new thing that kids do?
What's spitting?
I mean,
Just spit in each other's mouth.
Just for fun. And
Yeah.
the playground.
Yeah.
Fucking grim. She's the worst character, and I hated her so much. Like every time she was on screen, it was just bad. It was awful. It's
No,
making
I
me angry
agree.
to
I
think
mean,
about it.
I have no reason. She didn't give you any reason to like her. It's a trope that I don't understand. I feel like I'd have to do more research on it. I feel like it was done intentionally. I don't think this was done as they genuinely think people will like this. I feel like it must lie in some sort of like satire, and they know that it is cringe. I feel like the story of the game or whoever developed it is built on the idea that they know that it's painful and they know that it isn't particularly good. Because I don't know, it's too not bad. Well, no, it is bad, but it's too shit to be intentional, I think. Oh, sorry, to not be intentional. I don't think this is a thing where they actually thought this is great dialogue, this is really good, like we're making a masterpiece here. I think that was probably part of the charm and part of the fun that they were going for with the game, so I can understand it from that aspect. But that didn't make it any less difficult to get through. At least the rest of the characters, although I wouldn't say I liked them because they were just kind of boring, I didn't hate them.
No.
It was only really Violet that I like heavily disliked. Everyone else was just not very interesting, but I didn't despise listening to them. Everything that came out of Violet's mouth was just annoying. Like
Every
it
single
genuinely just
thing.
put me off. Yeah, the rest of the characters just said they were a bit.
Yellow
nothing.
was alright. I went for ice cream with him. At
It
one
was a
point.
bro. Yeah, it was a bro. It was nice. He was a good guy.
Speaking of ice cream, did anyone do any of the optional shit?
I did.
What do you mean the
one
optional
of the?
shit?
I went for ice cream with yellow, and then I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't
say I'm
need
not,
to do this.
I did the exact same thing. I'm not doing any of this shit
Heavenly
again. It's
Delight.
pointless. Yeah, Heavenly Delight.
Yeah, I did all of them because they were only like at max like 30 seconds.
Are they all
40
just
seconds.
conversations?
Yeah. They're all just scenarios. So Heavenly Delight, as it claims to be from the name, it's just like a little treat. So every scenario was just you get some sort of little treat. Like one of the treats was you got to watch, basically The Godfather in the cinemas, and you just watched it with the cat, and that was it. Like it's just they were all just
Oh,
like
nice.
30-40 second little conversations. So I did it because of that. If they were any longer, I probably would have just skipped them, but I knew they were going to be quick every time. There wasn't any particularly memorable ones.
At
But...
one point, they said the last one was a sword. Do you actually get a new sword or anything?
No, so when I first saw the Heavenly Delights, I saw that sword. I thought we were gonna get a cosmetic upgrade, and I was really excited. And then a couple hours later, I went, "No, obviously they're not gonna give me a sword because you don't even get to see your weapon anyway, really." So I'm like, "Why would you get any sort of cosmetic?" And then yeah, you didn't get anything.
I just thought it
I
might
can't
be an
remember
upgrade on the
correct-
sword because the sword was shit.
Yeah, if I
It
remember
was
correctly.
really shit.
No, if I
It
remember
was pretty
correct-
much pointless to have.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, when you got the sword, it was a tiny toy sword. Like he was really excited to get a sword, and it was like a tiny action figure sword or something like that. And he was really upset. But yeah, you didn't get anything.
That is the only reason I would have gone through with those Heavenly Delights.
Yeah.
But so that I would have been quite angry if I got there and it was a toy sword.
But outside of that, yeah, I don't think there was too much optional stuff really.
No,
outside of the gifts.
There was loads of different places you could go to to like speak to characters, but again, I didn't do any of that.
I think they only popped up.
Did it a couple times.
I think they only popped up if you'd claimed gifts for them, because it would open up dialogue options for them.
Oh, is that what the gifts were for? You have to give them to people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gifts. That's one per level.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
It's a lot of dialogue that I'd sit for.
Do you see what the gifts are?
No.
They're all the same.
They're just generic gifts. It's just a present.
Yeah, I think it's like perfume, 6-pack.
Oh, but actually, I didn't bring this up. I should bring this up actually to give credit to the game. So that gifting thing, so the whole point of the gifts is you give them a gift, which in turn gives you the full story for that character, and it explains what happened to them before they died. So it gives you backstory for each individual character. That part's not that interesting. The interesting part is that when in between these dialogue sections, every couple of gifts, you actually get a bonus level, and each character has their own unique set of bonus levels. So, for example, Yellow's bonus levels are like obstacle courses, but for example, you can't use the abilities of the cards. You can only use the gun part of the cards. So the levels are built around not being able to use like dashes or anything. It's just purely using the guns. Then like Violet's, for example, is you don't get any cards at all, and it's just like a pure obstacle course where you have to like dodge things and bounce off things and stuff like that. And I thought they were some of the most fun levels in the game, and I'm kind of sad they were locked behind that system, because if you weren't willing to go through all that and go and get all those gifts, you just did not get the opportunity to do any of them. And I think that's a bit sad, because I think some of the best levels in the game were locked behind that, which just sucks a bit, because a lot of people aren't going to go through the effort to get it done, which I understand, and it's like fully fair.
I get that.
But they were cool though.
Yeah, no, it did sound. It's like kind of like the Mario Sunshine levels about the flood.
Yeah,
thing.
no, yeah,
it takes
literally,
all the fluff away, and just gives you the good shit. Cool, brilliant. Niall, you got anything more to say on the subject?
I'll tell you what about Neon White. Something which two things which I thought was interesting, one good and one bad, is that there's actually a meta. Like I watched the I recommend you watch it. It was pretty much like a self interview with the developers, but the devs react to the Neon White speedrun that was on IGN. Um, yeah, the one thing which basically all speedrunners do is they maximize their time on water, which I thought was interesting. Like, regardless, the best way to go fast in this game is to be on water, which I thought was really weird. I can understand the reasoning behind that. But that leads me on to the thing which I didn't really like was like the game feel in this game is great with everything apart from the jumping.
The jump
I
is
thought
flowy as fuck.
It is really, really floaty, and you have like no, considering you have very, very fine control over everything else. Basically, if you jump when you don't need to, you are losing like 2-3 seconds. But if you can just fall off a ledge, that's much better than jumping off a ledge, even though you don't necessarily know what's coming down and that sort of thing. And so like, there's times, especially in like the earlier levels, where you could jump and you're just waiting, and you can like overshoot, and you've got to like wiggle back and forth as you're waiting to land, so you don't fall off at edges. I thought it'd be much better if it was kind of similar to like Hollow Knight's jump, for example, where it's very, very precise. Like you are only jumping if like in the air if you're holding down A. If not, then you slam to the ground.
Yeah.
I think that'd be much better personally, because it can still have that flow if you hold the button the entire time if you want that, but you don't have to have it. So yeah,
It might be intentional. Like, it doesn't matter, just one more thing they've put in to try and shave down your time, just limiting your jumps.
I reckon it is intentional because this game's full of restrictions to promote creativity. I just don't like it. I just think it was a bad choice.
I fully empathise with that because I've a few times when I've jumped and it feels like forever you're waiting to land.
Oh yeah, when you hit like speaking of the grenade launcher, when you hit that on like a door below you, which you need to break, or an enemy below you as you're falling, and you accidentally within that radius of the grenade launcher, it just bounces you back up, and you're just floating for ages.
You feel the seconds
You
just
do.
dripping away. Alex, any more final thoughts?
Let's talk about the boss battles.
The boss battles, of course.
Thank
Yeah.
fuck you brought that up. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
they're just not good. They disrupt the flow of the game so much.
Yeah.
Like you're taught to go through the levels as fast as possible, and then you get all these boss battles where you stood there having to wait. Then you have to like go across, destroy all these crystals, and then you have to go in a loop up this building. Like
Takes too long. Wait takes way
It's
too
the
long.
fact
way too
that-
long.
It's the fact that there's so few of them though, as well.
Yeah.
You get one really early on, like 4 chapters in, and then it just doesn't happen again until like chapter 10 or 11, and then you get another one immediately after it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're
it's not
just
good.
really weirdly paced, and it's just not. It doesn't fit with any other part of the game like at all. It's just really disruptive and really stupid. And I don't understand why they did it. I feel like if they were gonna do it's either don't do it at all, or if you were gonna do it, make them less intrusive and also just sort of spread them out a bit more. So like you expect
Make them
it.
shorter.
Just like so you expect it to happen, because just shoving one near the start and then 2 randomly at the end was just really odd. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. No,
I just didn't like them.
Yeah, and don't make a boss battle 5 minutes and then have like me get a silver medal and I have to do it again.
Yeah, like literally, I was on rank 2 for so long. I think it took me 2 hours to get gold on that. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Actually.
It
That's
did,
mad.
yeah. Well, because like the things I was struggling with is, well, like first of all, like health was the thing. I kept on just dying, like just from enemy attacks. But also as well, you had to save up so much ammo for the final 2 phases of that boss fight. If you didn't want to have to take your time and really aim at everything, which would make you get a silver medal, you had to basically spray. I found. So yeah, that's why it took so long. There's a lot of restarts.
Yes.
Did anyone play this game on controller?
No.
No.
I just
I can't imagine
yeah, I
this
just
game
can't
on
imagine
controller.
doing it. But yeah, it's out on consoles, isn't it? So I just wondered if anyone attempted it.
I reckon I could do it. I didn't want to in that particular time.
I mean, you
I
probably
reckon I
could if
could
you-
do it. I think it
like-
would just be very, very awkward, and
Yeah,
I
if you
wouldn't
like-
be able to get as
if you
fast
like-
as the time.
Yeah, if you like cranked up the sensitivity, so I'm sure it'd be okay. But it just feels very much built for keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, definitely. Most FPSs do, don't they, really?
That's true.
Lewis, any final thoughts?
Make a sequel, but remove all the stuff that we said was bad.
All the story.
And you've got a 10 out of 10 on your hands.
Just make
Literally.
it
That's my
arcadey as fuck.
recommendation to whoever made this game.
Who did make this game?
Angel Matrix, apparently.
Oh shit! I was supposed to do
First
that at the
game.
beginning. Wow.
You was.
Angel Matrix made it. I don't know when it came out. I'm sorry. I don't have that
Came out in
information.
2022.
There we go.
It's definitely worth everyone's time.
Yes.
I'll say that.
It's on
Yeah.
Game Pass,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's free.
definitely. It's
And
like, what,
genuinely,
10
if you want to
hours?
skip all the story aspects of it, you will not miss out on anything.
miss.
Like guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right. Any final thoughts before we wrap up and go to 20 questions?
I picked my game.
Good. That's good. We are
Yes.
about
Well
to
done,
decide.
Niall.
We are about to decide what we're about to play. So that's good. Right, Jolly Goods. Right. So just to summarise, then we gave it collectively. So Alex gave it an 8. We had 2 7s from Lewis and Niall, and I gave it a
And a
5,
5.
which brings us to the usual average of 6.75.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
There's always one
Yeah.
that brings it down just a tiny bit.
I was justified in my arguments, man.
It's completely
so
fair. It's
angry.
completely
Right.
fair. Like I said, I didn't know anything about the game before going in. Right, I watched a couple videos on it. I was like, the gameplay looks fun.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
And you were right. The gameplay
Oh.
does look fun.
Yeah,
It is fun.
it was fun.
Right.
Just
So
the part.
21 questions we're doing, isn't it now?
21 questions.
21 questions.
21.
Right.
21.
So we'll start with Big Lou.
Please don't.
Get
Please stop,
out.
Alex.
First question is the
We'll
easiest.
start with Big Al.
Right, Niall,
Yeah,
is it on Game Pass?
it is.
Right, fucking knew it.
We knew it'd be on Game Pass.
Fucking
Yeah,
knew it.
I
Just go through
literally
the list
during-
and picks any old shite.
During the recording of the podcast, I went through. I've got like a big list. I'm not going to show you because it's on there.
I was gonna show us.
A big list of games which I've collated over like the past few months of games which I really want to play, and none of them apart from this one were on Game Pass. So
Right, okay.
there we go.
Grand. Did you check PS Plus or anything like that?
I did not
This
because
guy.
yeah, here we are.
Right. Okay.
Terrible.
On to Big Lou. So we know it's an Xbox game. No, it's on Game Pass. Sorry.
Did this game release in the past?
Yes,
Did this game release in the past 3 years?
it did.
Oh, it's a recent one.
Relatively new. Right. Okay. Would you say this game has realistic graphics?
No,
Okay.
Is it based on a license?
No, not obviously.
That's very much a
It's
yes
not.
or no question. It's not one to deliberate.
Well, I mean, it might be based off on like what did you say? What was the question?
Is it based
It's
on
Based on a
license?
license.
Oh yeah, it might be based off a license which I don't know about.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just
Right.
scrolling through Wikipedia, but it doesn't say that.
Is this game part of a franchise?
No,
Oh, standalone. Is it? Would you say it's from a first-person perspective?
no,
Is it a 3D game?
yes,
Is it a platformer?
yes,
Oh shit! So 3D platform that's on Game Pass.
Are we sure this isn't me that's picking this game?
Banjo to it? Maybe.
Crash Bandicoot.
Well, no, it's past 3 years.
You can't make us play all 3 fucking Crash Bandicoots.
You can't.
It's not part of a franchise. So it's a standalone platformer.
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
What was the answer for realistic graphics? You said no, didn't you?
yeah.
Right.
I said no.
Okay, grand. Do you play as a human?
Yes,
You do play as a human. I feel like we should know it by now, but we don't.
it's one of those ones where you've seen it before, defo. I'll say that, but I said that about Citizen Sleeper. Apparently not.
That's
yet.
also true.
3D platform where you play as a human. Is another genre action?
No,
No, it's just a platformer, just a bog standard platformer.
hmm.
did this game? You're gonna have to type on Google a bit. Did this game get higher than a 80 on Metacritic?
Well,
On
it'll say on
Metacritic.
Wikipedia.
Does it say? I'll just search it.
It'll be under reception on Wikipedia.
I just want to know if it's a banger or if it's just like a
Mid
Did you say above 80?
above 80.
Yes, it did.
Probably got like
So
an
it was-
81.
That's still high though. Like an
Well, no,
81.
No, yeah.
Solid game.
I didn't remember the number at all.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it's my
I
go.
also didn't hear whether it was below either, but here we go. Anyway.
Is there combat with a weapon of any kind?
Good question. I'm gonna say no. I've played an hour of this game and there wasn't, and I don't see any of that on Wikipedia.
So it's a platform. So it's a platform without any kind of combat. Well, with weapons.
I would be surprised if there was any from what I've played. Like, very surprised.
This is bizarre. Even Mario jumps
it
on
me?
it. It's Alex.
Are there any sort of like companions?
Yes.
He was very, very sure about that.
Companion.
I've played the first
I
hour.
might. I think I have an inkling.
Oh, he's got an
There's an
inkling.
inkling.
Yeah.
It's not Splatoon.
Is it Splatoon? Yeah.
Vocalize your inkling.
Kenna, Bridge of Spirits.
That's not a
That's
platform.
there's
Andy
also-
has combat.
There's also
right,
combat.
okay.
There's also combat in there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Is it on
never
Game
played
Pass?
it.
This is why we vocalize
Yeah.
so we can shoot you down straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
I don't think it is. I think it's only on
It's
PlayStation.
not on Game Pass.
Oh, is it just
so
on PlayStation?
on
and
multiple
Epic.
fronts.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
It's a solo game, not part of a franchise platform, and it did very well. Oh! No.
Vocalize.
Vocalize.
No, I guess you're wrong.
Just vocalize.
Vocalize.
I want to
No,
know.
because the game,
Yeah,
no, 'cause the game
you
came out.
down.
The game came out like 12 years ago. It's not. I'm not vocalizing it.
What, Banjo Tooie?
Yeah.
No. Is the game or is the game does the game do you play as an animal?
No, you play as a human, Lewis.
D-
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
give you that question back because yeah.
Uh, I don't have one.
You got one. You got to.
Have we ever seen this game at any award show?
I'd be surprised if you hadn't. Let me just what's that
Let me
one
just
called?
watch-
The
let me
game
just
game
watch
The Game
awards.
Awards.
Game Awards.
Any
I'll
kind of
just
award show.
Google whether it was on there.
Is that
would-
number 14?
Yeah, you would not have seen it at any awards, but it has been nominated for
Okay.
one award.
I don't like that it's my go.
Yeah,
I'm
you can
surprised
go-
it
you
hasn't
can
been
go with
nominated for any
question,
awards,
though.
to be fair.
It's the fact that it came out very recent, well, past couple of years,
Yeah, I can't
and
think
it's
of
not connected to anything.
I feel like I would have played if it would have played it if it was a 3D platform in the past 3 years.
Like, I would have heard of it.
Yeah. This is it sounds like an Oliver Alex game, for sure. But so he plays a human. It's not. It's standalone as well. That's game, man.
It's also brave to me. I am dating this episode. It is brave to make us play a platformer after apparently the greatest platformer of all time.
But also after Neon White as well, which was also a platform.
That's also true as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Astrobot is sat right above my head right now. I heard it drop through the letterbox.
God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, he's got it there. Yeah, no, we are dating the episode quite heavily.
Fine, it's fine.
Yeah,
No one needs to know.
No one needs to know. Right, I need a question. Was this exclusive to Xbox in terms of consoles?
No.
Right.
Multi-platform.
Got 6 questions left.
You play as a human as well, you know.
You do as well.
This
Got an
is
itch.
Nice one.
There we go.
this is tough.
I just feel like if we knew it, we'd know it by now. You know what I mean? We've got
Yeah,
we've got all the information that we need,
Yeah.
and it's not enough.
Is it a re-release of an old game?
No.
No, so it's brand spanking new. Right, okay.
I will say as well, I had another game, but I chose this one because it was more likely for you to guess it. So it was a good job I didn't pick the other one.
Is it? I don't know if I've asked this. Is it an indie game? Like, is it made by an independent developer?
Yes, I can say that for sure. The developers also published it.
Right. Okay.
Oh, freebie there.
God.
I mean, is it? Yeah, this is. I mean, yeah, yes.
All right.
I'll give you another one. You have 1,000,000 bajillion% heard of this publisher / developer before.
Okay.
Alex went first in here. Right? I was trying to make sure I had the right count on my fingers. We've heard of the developer before.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been pinned down like very specifically. Like I feel like you said, I feel like we know it already.
Yeah.
With all of
The
this
thing is, I've
information.
looked through Game Pass recently, and I couldn't tell you.
3D. It's man, I don't fucking know. Right. Okay. It's hard. It's really hard. Because all the questions that I would have asked, we've asked already.
That's one they wouldn't ask.
What?
It's not realistic graphic. Right, let's try and pin down the setting, I guess.
It's good actually.
Would you say it's in a sci-fi setting?
I will elaborate on this.
Please do.
I would say, looking at it, definitely not. I don't think I need to elaborate, actually.
Oh, so the answer is no then.
Right, yeah, cheers.
Well, that's the thing. It's got like hints of like future in the past, but like broadly, it definitely it doesn't look sci-fi at all.
There's a game that I played. I have played it, but I can't remember if it was in the last 3 years or not. Where you play as it's like a voxel game, where there's a little guy on an island doing shit, and he's platforms.
Was he 3D?
He was 3D. It was voxels.
Yeah, Lewis.
Sorry.
Idiot.
It's Alex's go.
Oh, is it my go?
It is.
I thought you were still like thinking.
It's the last question.
I actually just can't think of anything.
I can't even think.
Can't
You know what?
I
I'll give you a couple of I'll give you a clue. How about that then?
Go for it.
Oh yeah, please.
I will narrow down when it was released.
Okay.
It was released in Q4 2023, so very recently.
Within the last year.
Yeah, which might be why I missed out on the game reward stuff. I think it would have done. It would have definitely. I think it should have been nominated for best indie game, in my personal opinion.
What did win best indie game? Because that's a.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah,
it wasn't Dredge. I remember that.
Literally last year is what we're saying. Like literally a year ago.
Yeah.
So
It was around Christmas last year.
I give you the publisher.
I
don't think it'll help.
Now go on.
Yeah, the publisher was Don't Nod.
Oh. The fucking mountain game. I don't know what it's called. I can't help you guys here.
The mountain game.
Yeah.
A short hike.
No.
No, you play as a bird in that.
You're
Oh,
like
yeah.
a guy on a mountain, or maybe mountain's the right word, like rock climbing. You're like a rock climbing man.
Getting
right?
over it
Is
with Bennett Fodder.
Yeah, getting over it. No, not getting over it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that isn't the developer I'm thinking of. I don't know what the game's called, so I can't lead you.
I know, don't nod in my head, but I cannot think of any games that they've made.
The
pretty
Life is
literally-
Strange, if that helps.
See, that's what I thought in my head, but then I thought that can't be right, because why would they make a platformer?
Yeah, it's a different game, isn't it? Different type of game, that's for sure.
It's still your question, Alex, if you want to ask one.
Is
Yeah, I'll ask something. Anything.
is there a dog in the game?
Okay.
I don't think I can answer that
Maybe-
with certainty. There isn't from what
I
I saw.
literally don't
Okay.
know.
Maybe not anything.
Lewis,
Um,
ask if it's the game that you're thinking of.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it don't matter. Just say, is it the game that I'm thinking of?
Is it the get Niall? Is it the game I'm thinking of?
It is, yeah. And
Fuck!
I'm very
What is it?
sad that you got it from the
What,
publisher.
what is it? What's it called?
I don't fucking.
You asking me?
Oh no.
Oh,
no,
we-
as in
we've
what?
got
Or as
one
in what?
question
What? So
left.
you're saying that I am right, but I don't. You're not going to tell me what it is.
Yeah. Okay, do you know? Can you think of anything else about the game, Lewis, that might help me or Alex name it? Apart from a guy on a mountain.
I'm glad at least someone's seeing it.
It's a puzzle game, I would say, by the looks of the gameplay.
About a bloke on a mountain.
It looked puzzly from what I saw.
Alright, I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm not getting it. It's not happening.
Alex,
It's
you
beyond
are?
me.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I assume Lewis is also out.
I mean, yeah, I literally don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
so I-
Lewis was also right with it being a puzzle platform game.
Right.
What is it?
Yeah, it's called Jusant or Jusant.
Never
Honestly,
would've
if you
got
gave me
that in a
100 guesses, I
years.
would not have got it. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I know what game you're talking about.
Alright.
I know nothing about it.
Now, how am I spelling
Yeah.
that so I can get a YouTube?
Jusant.
Jusant.
I need to see that he's on a mountain though. I need the
Yeah,
proof.
no, definitely. So it's very like
Yes.
inspired by Getting Over It, Bennett Foddy, and all these other climbing games, but it's an accessible version of it.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. There's puzzles. There's a bit of a story. It looks very nice. Reviewed incredibly well, especially on Steam. I think it has like a 97% or something like that. So yeah,
I have
Same.
never in my life heard of this game,
that is insane.
especially not in the last year.
I
You've
didn't
actually
know.
played
I didn't
Bubble.
know. I didn't know it came out so recently. Yeah, that feels weird because it felt like I saw this ages ago.
I need to see some gameplay. This trailer's not showing me any gameplay.
It's just mountain, isn't it? That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
there's
well,
some
yeah.
sort
So it's
of,
one of those ones where you have control over the left arm and the right arm with triggers.
Ooh.
like
But
the
you also
Astro
have.
Ball.
I don't remember. But you also have stuff like, for example, the rope. Like you can like set checkpoints. Like you are the one to set checkpoints, so you don't fall too far. And yeah, it's not designed to evoke a frustration like with those other climbing games. Like what was that other one that came out recently, which was like Getting Over It? but-
Only up is the Chinese one. Are you talking
Yeah.
about the 4-player co one?
Chain
No,
Together.
Together.
I'm thinking,
Oh,
I'm
you're
thinking,
talking about Only Up.
I'm thinking about Only Up, but
Yeah.
yeah, Chain Together as well. It's another one of them, but it's like yeah, very very accessible.
It looks nice. It really does look beautiful.
Yeah. It is a very chill time, and it's only about 5 hours as well.
Damn.
So yeah.
You know, I'm digging it. I'm feeling positive about this one. I haven't felt positive about one of these in quite a while.
Seems like a game that's an experience.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I didn't want to keep picking experiences like Citizen Sleeper, but yeah, the other one, I'll give you the name of it. Was called Trubbabrook, which you definitely would not have gotten.
Never even heard of it.
It's a sci-fi mystery point-and-click adventure game, which is currently 95% off on Steam. It's only £1 rather than 25 quid. So I thought now would be time to get it, but you would not have got that
No,
in the 20 questions. So I decided against it.
I'm not
Apparently
surprised
it's
about
very
this.
good
To
though.
be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
There
Okay.
you
I
go.
So
feel like this is what Journey was meant to be.
no,
That is
Journey
what I
was
thought,
meant to be
yeah.
fucking Journey, and Journey was excellent in every.
Journey was just meant to be
Journey's
played.
shit.
Journey was just meant to be played during a time when people were playing the game, and without that
Yeah.
factor, it's just not a game.
I want to go.
really.
I want to go back and play it now, but I played it when it like first came out, and it was amazing. Journey was just a great time all around.
It was a journey.
It was a journey. That's exactly what it was. Right, so we're playing. So we will be playing Jusant, and that'll. So happy Halloween, everyone. By the way, this is going out on
Halloween.
Uh, so the Jusant will be out in November, in which we will also be unwrapping our Secret Santa gifts to each other. Because December will be when we review our Secret Santa gifts. But until next time, we shall see you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.